Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Mayor Steven Reed announced a significant crime reduction in the city of Montgomery. Now, he's right. There has been a big drop in crime, much like in Birmingham. 28.3% violent crime. Nonviolent crime down 13.3%. Homicides down 12.5%. Non-fatal shootings down 22.5%. And robberies down 41%. So he held this press conference, and people are thinking, is this true? Is this true? The people of Montgomery don't feel it. On social media, the people in Montgomery responded by saying things like this. He must be smoky what I smell all over town. What a joke. He must be reporting from another city, not Montgomery. When you label every homicide a death investigation, then maybe it is. I mean, they're just hammering this guy. No, the numbers are what the numbers are. The numbers are just still really high. They're down from like record levels. That's not really that great. Birmingham's doing the same thing.
Number 6.
The DOJ is doing something that I did actually vote for. Is this what you voted for? Weaponizing your government? I mean, yeah, they're actually doing something that I voted for. This is one that I did vote for. CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey are under investigation for alleged misconduct in the Russiagate conversation, the Trump-Russia probe. Yes, they have gone out of their way to actually go after these guys, and that's good. I want these guys punished. I voted for exactly this. Oh, you want to put your political enemies in jail? Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially if they did, only if they did something bad. I don't want them to not be punished because they're my political. No. Also, the White House has waived Biden's doctor's privilege. Should be fun to see.
Number 5.
President Donald Trump is facing criticism from both parties and the internet, by the way, for his failures to basically tell us Jeffrey Epstein's entire life story via Black Book and show video of him putting a belt around his neck or sheets around his neck and killing himself. That seems to be the issue. I have never really found this to be too compelling of a story. I always thought, yes, there were people in power that were friends with this guy. That doesn't mean that they were all, fellow traveler pedophiles. They probably just thought their friend was a little weird, or this rich guy's really weird, or something along those lines. I know. I'm probably in on the cover-up. But you don't have to care about this, guys. Okay? You can be glad that Jeffrey Epstein is dead and he killed himself or whatever. You do not have to care about this.
Number 4.
The U.S. Supreme Court lifted an order blocking President Donald Trump's plan for mass federal layoffs. This is something that they've tried to do from the beginning of the administration, and the courts, of course, stepped in and said, you can't do this. I believe this court that did this, I don't recall exactly where they came from. I believe it was San Francisco, but this judge said, no, you can't do that. You can't lay off these federal workers. In a unsigned order, the court said that the Trump administration was likely to succeed in its argument that his directives to manage the federal workforce are legally within his power. Now, they say this is the White House consolidating power in the executive branch. I would argue it is about weakening the judiciary, which has gone completely insane. But if that means Donald Trump seizes more power, that's the fault of all the people that did this in the first place.
Number 3.
Alabama meteorologist James Spann once again whining on social media. I'm really growing tired of this. He says he's receiving threats and nasty messages, although he never shares them. And I went through his Facebook feed, and I can't find people threatening him. I find people being mean to him, but they're mean to me all the time. I don't consider that to be a threat. I mean, I didn't have a guy tell me yesterday I was going to burn in hell. Is that a threat? That's true, by the way. I don't consider that a threat. Does he? Anyway, he's right. All that aside, that people who are blaming the disaster in Texas on Republicans or Democrats, you guys are clowns. You shouldn't be doing this. You're wrong. Okay, it's a natural disaster. And I know we like to blame our political enemies for it, but it's natural weather dynamics. It's not cloud seeding. It's not human interference. It's not weather modification. It wasn't caused by Democrats or Republicans. Spann is right there.
Number 2.
Media darling and police shooting aficionado, attorney Ben Crump, has now made his way to the great state of Alabama. And now he will be inserting himself in the middle of the Jabari Peoples shooting. And I will tell you this. I know this and you know this. It's a good shoot. It will be found to be a good shoot. But the failure to release bodycam has once again brought race grifters and ridiculous people to the great state of Alabama in order to stand up and say, in Alabama, I can't do a voice, but in Alabama, not going to do a voice of a black guy. In Alabama, let's be clear, in Alabama, they shoot black people for sport. That's essentially the argument they're making. And we know it's not true, but the failure to release the body cam footage led to this. That's why it's happening.
Time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Well, the media and their Democrats, much to the surprise of absolutely no one, are ramping up their complaints about immigration enforcement. If you need some examples, I got them for you. Ready? Here's a city council candidate in San Antonio. I hope they get shot by the Los Angeles public. I want to see a few dead ICE agents. Don't let me down. Wow, that's outrageous, but that's just some random guy, right? Okay, how about this? Representative Dan Goldman. Allowing ICE agents to hide their faces during mass immigration arrests isn't about safety, it's about fear, intimidation, and avoiding oversight. I introduced legislation with Representative something to ban agents from wearing masks and requiring they display identification during immigration arrests. We live in a democracy, not a dictatorship, with masked, unidentified police. The legislation ensures that our federal government's laws are enforced with identifiable human beings, not anonymous secret agents of the state. Ooh, spooky, scary stuff here. Geraldo Rivera. You know about Al Capone's vault, right? Okay, just don't put it out. Judges don't wear masks. Sheriffs don't wear masks. Marshals don't wear masks. FBI agents don't wear masks. Court officers don't wear masks. Cops don't wear masks. Only ICE agents. Pretty funny. They're continuing to think that. Show these people. There are people who have said, if we can find out who these people are, we're going to destroy their lives. Do you not understand how hard this is? Do you not understand how hard this is and why they're covering their face? Representative Jamal Jayapal, wait, that's her name. What is her first name? Anyway, Representative Jayapal says that she feels it to be inspiring when she sees groups out there obstructing ICE. These people want you to put your lives on the line for them. They want you to go out and fight that fight. They're not going to do it themselves. Geraldo Rivera is not moving his decrepit old ass out of the chair to go do anything. No, he's not doing that. He's saying that you should. Dan Goldman's not going to do anything about this. He wants you to do something about it. Even that loser from San Antonio, he's telling other people to do it. They want you to do it. They hope you do. They hope you kill police officers. That's what they hope. Anyway, all this nonsense is going on. The public still supports mass deportations. Republicans approved a massive budget increase for ICE to expand their deportation efforts, making them, if they were a standalone unit, the 14th largest military on the planet. Just all amazing. Which, by the way, wouldn't be happening if we didn't have decades of just opening the door and allowing criminals and monsters to come in. Well, they're not going after criminals. Yes, they are. You enter the country, you're here illegally. You commit crimes out of that, you're here illegally. You've committed more crimes. So sorry, both those things are crimes. Anyway, President Trump announced there will be no amnesty for illegal immigrant farm workers. Keep that in mind. That's a win, but just keep that in mind that it is not a total win, in my opinion. The hospitality side, I haven't heard really a lot about, but he says there will be no amnesty. Let me help you out. There will be no amnesty. Every time that pokes its head up, it will get smacked down by the public. The public does not want amnesty. They do not want that. They have made it very, very clear. But for some reason, the power brokers in our society, including Donald Trump and the people that support him, or the people who work with him, they do. and they're pushing for more of it. So just keep that in mind. Keep your head on a swivel. Got to continue having that conversation because there are people out there who still want to see amnesty, but it keeps getting pushed back on, and that, my friends, is a good thing. Let's take a quick time out. We'll come back. More coming up. Jeff Bohr later this hour. Chris Wallace next hour. Politics and then some money talk. Keep it locked right here. And don't forget, we got What's Trending and 10 with him. So get your comments in right now. Did I say What's Trending? Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yep, you did.
I got too many jobs. What can I say? We have, when the
comment
section comes alive, and then later on, we have 10 with him. So get your questions in for 10 with him or your comments. 866-494-WVNN. That is the scoutpestcontrol.com WVNN hot take text line. You can also email me, Dale.
You've got mail.
Dale at WVNN.com. By the way, the only time you heard Emily's voice that entire segment was to Karen me. That was it. That was it. Other than that, she didn't say a single word. In fact, you guys don't know this. She got up and walked away for 15 minutes of that. Well, I'm slaving away. And then she comes in and goes, excuse me. That is not what my segment is called. It is called something completely different. Let's take a break.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.